Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're going to do a comparison between Sevastopol and Alaska. The commander is Azurlane Avarora. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Avarova. Anyway, beyond range, igniter, punch through. Her unique skill is hammering strike, but I don't use it. Fixate it, and refill station. And then we have inspirations, Nicola, cruiser main battery range, and then Norman. Cruiser main battery shell grouping. That's my inspirations. We have aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment system mod, main battery, main gunfire control system mod 2, epic. And then for this loadout, it's got an engine boost, and then it also has sonar or defensive AA, and then you have main battery booster. You got the frozen Sevastopol camo, and then the Sevastopol flag. Survivability, hit points 62,600, torpedo damage reduction 34%, fire resistance 40%. And then for the main battery, you get the Bismarck 380mm 52 SKC 34, 3 turrets, 2 guns in each, just like Gdanzino. 19.7 kilometer range, 20.5 second reload, 36 second turret traverse, 2.22 shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion 87.5 meters, horizontals 145.9 meters, and then medium max range vertical dispersion is 23.6 meters, and then for horizontal it's 39.4 meters. Max HE shell damage 5,350, muzzle velocity 820 meters per second, 37% chance to set fire, 63 millimeters of armor penetration. Max AP shell damage 12,430 for each shell. Muzzle velocity is 820 meters per second. Armor penetration at point blank range is 773 millimeters, and then at max it's 482 millimeter. And then minimum ricochet angle 50 degrees, guaranteed 65, fuse timer 22 seconds, and then 63 millimeter arming threshold. You got the 100 millimeter 70. You got 8 mounts, 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range, 4 second reload, 1 shell grouping. And then you have the max range vertical and horizontal dispersion is 312.8 meters. And then for the medium max range vertical and horizontals, 187.7 meters. And then 1400 HE shell damage, 1000 meter per second muzzle velocity, 9% chance to set fire, 17 millimeters armor penetration. AA, you got a 57 millimeter and a 100 millimeter. The 57 is 6x2, so 350 damage per second, 4 kilometer range, and then the 100 millimeter 8x2, 117 damage, 5 kilometer range. Maneuverability 34.5 knot top speed, 980 meter turn circle, 11.3 second rudder shift, 15 second engine spool up time, reverse is 8, engine power multiplier speed threshold 7, reversing is 10. Concealment detectability range by sea 12.6 kilometers after firing main guns, 19.7 when the ship is on fire, 14.6 detectability range by air, 7.9 kilometers after firing main guns, 15.5 when ship is on fire, 10.9. Guaranteed 2 in smoke, 13.3. Armor, you have a 40 millimeter bottom on the bow, 25 millimeter bow deck, and 25 millimeter bow, which I don't agree with at legendary tier. In the rear, you have a 40 millimeter bottom and a 40 millimeter stern deck, 20 millimeter stern deck, 25 millimeter stern. And then you got a 275 millimeter plate connecting the stern to the whole ship, and then you have another 30 by 275 millimeter armor plate connecting the front and also the back, and then 21 millimeters also in between that. It connects the stern to the midship. Torpedo side plating 30 millimeters, armor belt is 230 millimeter. And then the top side plating of the superstructure is 16 millimeters, 125 millimeter on the top of the conning tower, on the bottoms 125 also. And then the sides is 260 by 330 millimeters for the conning tower. And then the side of the whole superstructure is 16 by 50 millimeters. And then for our deck is, we got a 90 millimeter deck on this ship. And then in the rear, it's 330 millimeter. No, that's the front, I believe. Yeah. And then the actual deck below that is 15 by 30 millimeter. And then in the rear is 275 millimeter. And then 15 millimeters on top of that. Then you got a 230 millimeter armor belt, which actually comes quite handy. This ship is pretty awesome. And then for your turrets on the top, you got 130 by 150 millimeter. Rear plate is 320 millimeter. Side plating is 150 by 220 millimeter. And then the bottom plate is 150 millimeter. The frontal plate 360 millimeter. Barbette hatch 150 millimeter. And then the barbette armor is 30 millimeter by 330 millimeter. So basically, Gneisenau and Bismarck guns, same armor. The deck for the artillery potting room is 90 millimeters of armor. The actual deck underneath is 30 millimeters underneath the main deck. And the rear, or no, that might be the front. No, it's the rear. Yeah, 31 or 21 millimeters. And then the upper side plating of the midship is 30 millimeters. And then in the front, that deck right there is 21 millimeters. And then, sorry, I'm stuttering. Yeah. But yeah. And then your citadel. This is the fun part. Citadel bottom is 40 millimeters. And then you got a citadel armor belt. If they're hitting that armor belt, they're citadeling you. 230 millimeter. And then the deck on the the citadel, 15 by 30 millimeter. And then the citadel in the front, I believe. Yes, it's the front. It's 30 millimeters down there. You can barely see it because of this port. In the rear, it's 30 by 275 millimeter. Torpedo bulkhead is 90 millimeters. In the front is 30 by 330 millimeter. And then you got another 30 millimeters in the rear. And then you also got a citadel plating, 30 millimeters. I mean, it's well armored, don't get me wrong, but this ship is very easy to citadel. Surgical shot, shells with a good ballistic trajectory, maintain velocity, making it easier to aim, greater heal, repair party restores severe damage. It's basically got the British Hill, super heal. Big and flammable fire set on this ship lasts longer because of her large size and high caliber guns. In May 1940, the Naval Academy hosted tactical games that involved the Project 69 cruiser and battleships. Scharnhorst Dunkirk, the event showed that the replacement of the 12-inch 305mm guns with the German 15-inch guns significantly increased the cruiser's firepower. Later, an agreement was signed with the German company Krupp, ordering the delivery of 6 turrets before March 1943. The turrets were to be mounted on cruiser Kronstadt and Sevastopol, scheduled for launch in 1942, but the outbreak of war canceled these plans. Year design 1940. Here's Sevastopol, and then Kronstadt is her sister. Hang on, let me turn on to your right and I'll show you. You can tell by looking at the hull. Yeah, so you look, it's the same hull. That's basically what Sevastopol is. Same armor scheme, because Kronstadt has a 25mm bow also. Now we'll go to Alaska. Azure Lane Multiplier is the commander. We have Beyond Range, Igniter, All Out Assault, Fixate It, and then Refill Station. Inspirations, we went for a reload build. One sec. We have Francisco Mimbelli and the Nero Circa. Aiming System Mod 1, Steering Gear Mod 2, Concealment. Then we have Main Battery Mod 3 for the reload. Loadout, you know you got radar on this ship. And we'll go to the specs. 60,000 for the hit point, 6,800, 13% torpedo damage reduction, 40% fire resistance. And you got the 11-inch 305mm Mark 8s, 3 turrets, 3 guns in each, 18.3 kilometer range, 15.6 second reload, 30-second turret traverse, 2.21 shell grouping, max range vertical dispersion is 104.4 meters, and then the horizontal is 174.1 meters. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 28.3 meters, horizontal is 47.2 meters. 4,300 HE shell damage, 808 meter per second muzzle velocity, 30% chance to set fire, 51 millimeters of armor penetration, max AP shell damage, 8,900, muzzle velocity, 762 meters per second, armor penetration at point blank range, 622 millimeters, max is 326. Minimum ricochet angle 60 degrees, guaranteed 67.5, 33 second fuse timer, 51 millimeters of arming threshold for the shells. Secondaries: 127 millimeter Mark 32 dual purpose, 6 mounts, 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range, 6 second reload, 1 shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion is the same as SEVASTOPOL, 312.8 meters. Horizontal is the same. The medium max range vertical and horizontal is 187.7 meters, same as SEVASTOPol. 1,800 HE shell damage, 792 meter per second muzzle velocity, 8% chance set fire, 21 millimeters of armor penetration. AA. On top, you get the dual purpose 127s we just went over, 98 damage per second, 5.5 kilometer range, 40 millimeter Bofors Mark II, 14 mounts, 4 guns in each, 337 damage per second, 3.8 kilometer range. You got 20 millimeter Oerlikon Mark IVs, 34 mounts, 1 gun in each, 211 damage per second, 2.2 kilometer range. Maneuverability, 34 knot top speed, 850 meter turn circle, better than SEVASTOPol, 9.87 rudder shift time, better than SEVASTOPol, and then the rest of it's the same as SEVASTOPol. And then detectability range by sea is 11.4 kilometers, and then after fire main guns is 18.3, ship on fire 13.4, detectability range by air is 7.2 kilometers, after fire main guns is 13.3, 10.2, guaranteed 2, after firing in smoke is 10.2 kilometers. Armor: 40 millimeter underneath the bow, 32 millimeter bow deck, 32 millimeter bow. And then you got the armor plate in between that, 51 by 260 millimeter. In the rear on the stern is 40 millimeters on the bottom, 32 millimeter stern deck, 32 by 269 millimeter stern, because you got that little armor plate on the side there in the red. And then in between that, you got 260 millimeters of armor. Side plating, 32 millimeters torpedo protection, and then you got 178 millimeter torpedo belt. Top side plating, on top of the superstructure, you got 16 millimeters of armor. Conning tower on the top is 127 millimeter. On the bottom is 51 millimeters on the conning tower. On the sides is 269 millimeter. And on the side of the rest of the superstructure, it's 16 millimeters. On the midships, in the rear, you got on the top there's 21 millimeters of armor in the kind of light white or light gray. On the bottom in the red is 260 millimeter. In the front's the same, 21 by 260 millimeter. And then the upper side plating here is 28 millimeters, and then the armor belt is 229 millimeter. And the deck is 36 by 102 millimeter. So it's armored pretty good. For the turrets, 127 millimeter top plate, 133 millimeter rear plate, and then the side plating is 133 by 152 millimeter. The bottom plate's 48 millimeters, and then the frontal plate is 325 millimeter. And then the barbette armor on the very bottom is 70 millimeters of armor. In the middle there, it's 330 millimeters of armor. So very close in terms of armor for the turrets with SEVASTOPol. Your citadel in the rear, 51 by 260 millimeter, 40 millimeter citadel bottom. In the front, 51 by 260 millimeter citadel deck, 19 millimeters, 26 millimeter torpedo bulkhead. Overview: tough, above average base HP rating, superior AP shell damage, big and flammable. An instance of a special type of ship, somewhere between a cruiser and a battleship, officially classified as a large cruiser. She was armed with 305 millimeter guns, had a high speed and a powerful AA defense. On the other hand, she had a relatively weak armor protection for her size year. In her service, 1944, ships in Series 3. Congress is one of those, and I want to say it was one of the territories they named the other one after. I know one of them was supposed to be Hawaii. Congress wasn't built, but Hawaii was, I believe. And I believe another one was supposed to be Guatemala, if I'm not sure. If I'm not mistaken, I mean. You can also do Azure Lane Baltimore. Is also a very good choice. You know, same setup, except you have her special perk, AP Salute. And then we also have Yamato as inspiration for more armor penetration. And then see, as you can see here, 690 millimeters at point blank range of armor penetration, then at max is 361 millimeter, so way better. And then 0.2 second fuse time for the AP, that is. And we can also do Captain Janeway. It also bumps up it kills your range, but it bumps up the AP shell damage 9,790, and it also bumps up the armor penetration at point blank range 684 millimeter and 374 millimeter. And then we can also use Norman Scott. See, Norman Scott. I have the Statue of Liberty as inspiration. I mean, the guys, my bad. The reason we have Azure Lane Zara is for whenever I play San Diego, I need extra sap shell damage. Okay, for inspiration, you want to use, obviously, you want to use, one sec. Captain Janeway, because she does extra damage to cruisers and battleships. And then you also want to use, I think it's Yamato, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, you can do Nurse or Rami, I guess, because it helps with your reload, or Circa, I mean. Okay, we're going to start with Sevastopol. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like down below if you do. Comment on which comparison you'd like to see next. I'd like to do a comparison between Alaska and Stalingrad, but I'd also like to do one between Sevastopol and Stalingrad. Since I just made this video of Alaska and Sevastopol, I'm going to hold off on that. The next video that we'll be releasing is Issei versus Connecticut, the battleship hybrids. I'm going to do the Japanese versus the American hybrids. That'll be coming out soon. I'm also going to do a Louisiana versus a Key video, so keep an eye out for that. It should be very interesting. Look at that dispersion, perfect. And we're going to slap the crap out of Puerto Rico. See? 23,000 damage from one salvo, or two, I think. I just got gear in here recently too, and I'm working on researching Shimakaze, so I'll be making a video on that comparison too. And then I'd like to do a comparison between Worcester, Minotaur, and Brisbane, all three. That'd be a very interesting video, I believe. I think you guys would like that. 3 ships at once instead of just comparing. I think that could be an interesting video. And then I'm also going to do the Super Cruiser Shootout. I'm going to do Alaska, Sevastopol, Stalingrad, Defense, I mean. And then we're also going to have lower tier ones. We're going to have Kronstadt, Stalingrad. Man, there's a bunch of them, isn't there? And then we'll have BA, Utism, or whatever it is. All the premium super cruisers are going to be in it. And then whenever I finally decide to unlock the rest of the the French line of super cruisers, I will do a video on that. But, yeah, let's see what we can do here. I've had a pretty, oh yeah, we also have to do Peter Pulaski. It's super cruiser, but not premium. So it won't be in the video unless you guys want it to be. In that case, we'd have to do, Oh yeah, Napoli has to be in there too because it's technically a super cruiser. And then we also have Castellan, needs to be in it. We have Caranaut, that's another super cruiser that's got to be in the video. But it's just going to be a super shootout between all the heavy hitting cruisers in the game. And I'll let you guys pick which one's your favorite. It should be a pretty good matchup between Sevastopol and Siegfried. They have the same guns, and they have the same armor scheme. Oh yeah, Schroeder's also going to be in it. I don't have a Jeer. If I had a Jeer, I'd put it in the video too, but I didn't get it this round of crate draws. So, sorry it won't be in the video, but when I do get it, I will add it to the video and re-upload it. But as you can see, this ship really slaps when it wants to. But it's very easily citadel. That's the problem with it. I just don't like that 25mm bow. It kind of irks me a little bit. It's like I get the 25mm bow at tier 8. It's still not good. It shouldn't be. But at legendary tier, come on, war game. What are you doing? Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to go find the charger. Trying to get rid of this character. There we go. We're finally got rid of Midway. Oh, Zuma. Zuma's another one that's going to be in the video. I almost forgot about her. And then, yeah, that'd be all the super cruisers. Besides Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's got to be in there too. So I'd say I got about 90% of the super cruisers that'll be in that video. So it's going to be a good video. It really is. It's just going to be, really long though. It might be upwards of an hour long. Or maybe 50 minutes, I don't know. It depends on how it goes. But yeah, I've got Puerto Rico. And I could technically say I could put Alaska B in there, but what's the point? It's the same as Alaska. No, Tulsa wouldn't be considered a heavy cruiser. Or I mean a super cruiser, honestly. But it does hit pretty hard. But yeah, it's 251,000 damage. Sorry for ranting on about that, but I figured I'd let you guys know some of the plans going forward into the new year. But hopefully I'll be able to get those videos out to you before then. Which I should be able to, yeah. And we'll take a look at the new destroyer together also. The new French destroyer that's only available for steel. I had 2 of them. I have the special edition. I think you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, as you can see, they just pummel the crap out of me when I actually hit me. Some of these battleships do. We're gonna look into this Ohio and see what we can do. I just recently acquired Stalingrad, so I'm excited to try that one out. 2 citadels, not bad, not bad. It's pretty easy to citadel Montana class battleships. You just gotta aim right there and where them 2 front turrets are. Or you can aim the midsection. The Americans have a long citadel. Look at that. Rhode Island is bullying the crap out of me because there's nobody to oppose him because all my teammates died. Which is its AI, that's to be expected. Which I'm going to die here and probably in the match with 211,000 or 12,000. All I'm saying is I did pretty good in this match. I got a pretty good result. Let's see if we can death strike this Montana real quick. No, of course not. 238,000 damage. Can we get 240? Yep, 240,000. And we're dead. 243,000 damage. And we destroyed Montana, good deal. Or no, that's Ohio, my bad. But that's the end of the match because our carrier isn't doing nothing. He's at the edge of the map. I'm just going to end the video here and let's go take a look at Alaska. So out of these two videos, I believe Stalingrad did the best in the regular match as far as versatility goes, because you can go against both battleships and cruisers easily. You can do that in Alaska too, but I think it's better to do a reload build on Alaska because it really helps whenever you're in matches like this. But I feel like the match went faster when I was in Sevastopol. Let's go superstructure. Not a bad hit, 9,000 damage. That ain't too bad. Especially against Ohio. That's the one ship I was trying to get right there, Ohio. And of course, World Warships screws me out of it again. I mean, what can you expect though? They always do that to us. They think it's funny, I guess. I got Iranian instead of Ohio, which is Iranian apparently is a super prize, and it shouldn't be because I don't really feel like it's a very good ship. But that's just my opinion. Stalingrad will slap him with 29,000 damage. There's Colbert. See if we can't get a Citadel. Colbert's is the easiest ship to Citadel in the game. There's a reload booster. Yeah, we got a good hit on him. Let the teammates finish him off. Now, this should be interesting. Reload. You see that hit? I believe that's a bunch of overpins if I'm not mistaken. That's how it usually goes. Uh-oh. Got a battleship next to us, we're screwed. I'm gonna focus on this target right here, this bird, I believe it is. Yep. We're trying to get him off the map because he's gonna be the most annoying out of the bunch. We'll go ahead and get him out of here. Here we go. See how fast some guns reload? Usually Alaska doesn't reload this fast. It's just the build I got on it. And then after this match, you will get to see the 1v1 between Sevastopol and Alaska, me and Sevastopol versus AI Alaska, and then me and Alaska versus AI Sevastopol. I'm gonna go ahead and end the voiceover off here, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for putting up my little rant there. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Please share this video.
度経験しても。機関巡航速度に移行します。敵艦を捕捉しました。火災？ウォッカに引火したかしら。あらあら、火災？ウォッカに引火したかしら。敵艦を発見した。艦が燃えている。指揮官、さっさと消火してくれ。燃えている。指揮官、さっさと消火してくれ。 が燃えている。指揮官、さっさと消火してくれ。勝利を